Good day to you all, and welcome to Adbondharve Real Estate Insight. Today, 8th of July 2024, and I'll be your facilitator, Joy Adebayo. And we start with the topic, factors that determine the value of a property. So we begin with an opening quote. We say, "You are not buying a house, you are buying a lifestyle," by Anonymous. This simply means that whenever you get a house, it's a lifestyle you are acquiring. So you decide which are you buying for investment, for status, or for flipping, for land bank, whichever you're buying it for. It's all a lifestyle. So we start with the introduction by defining property. Property is a term that refers to the physical structures, which is a shelter in quotes, and resources attached to it. We have other things attached that made it a property. So shelter as one of the top survival rules of life, and it's also the largest expenditure of an individual. Shelter, when it comes to survival in life, when you talk of clothing, shelter, air, internet, and so on. So shelter, property, real estate, whichever we pick, fall in the topmost as well. So about 1/3 of a person's income goes into shelter. Choosing where to live is based upon a person's goals, values, needs, and wants. Places to live include house, apartment, condo, mobile house, and so on. So we also have people that stays in farmhouse, or whichever they choose to call it. We have container house, which are the mobile houses, and different types of houses. So we go to the main topic itself. We look at factors that really affect the value of a property. There are a lot of them, but I have to streamline into these few points, which are location, the market, the condition, the seller's time frame, the neighborhood, and the improvements. So we are going to look at these factors one after the other. The first factor is location, and says location stands paramount, often overshadowing other factors in determining a property's worth. From the vicinity to amenities to the socio-economic dynamics of a neighborhood, every location-based attribute can influence property valuation significantly. So in getting a property, the first thing you look for is the location. Do you want it in Nigeria or outside Nigeria? Do you want it in Lagos Island or mainland? Do you want it in Lagos State or Ogun State? Location is very paramount. Location is generally accepted as the single biggest factor influencing property value. The price you acquire property on the mainland is not the same price you acquire property on the island. So it's the single biggest factor that when it comes to property value, it's what is being looked at. Because even professionals that does valuation, they usually use location as part of their basis of valuing a property. We go to the next one, which says market. Property values can be influenced by bigger market conditions such as supply and demand dynamics. So when there is a lot of demand for a property and the supply is low, that means the price will be high. So we see that in a lot of when people are looking for 2-bedroom apartments and all they can find is 3-bed. So by the time they get the 2-bed, it will be same price with 3-bedroom apartment or higher than in some cases. So that's why supply and demand dynamics also affect property value. And the next one is interest rates. For the investors, they look at this, that how does interest rate affect their choice of property? Because if you are looking at the turnover, interest rate will definitely affect, because when you buy a property on the island and the mainland, the rent you acquire on the island is not the same thing you will acquire when you buy in other states or the mainland. Economic factors also affect property value, in the sense that when you have a property here, the policy in a state may be different from the policy in different states. So policy, economic factor also affects property value. And the next is condition. The overall condition of the property, including its age, maintenance, and any necessary repairs or renovation, can affect its value. What we mean by this is that imagine you want to rent an apartment or buy, either case, and one is painted nicely looking and the other it's not. Definitely you go for the one that is nicely looking, because you look at, oh, if visitor come to look for me, what do they tell about me when they see this kind of house, or me living this kind of house? So condition, how long, you see some houses they are dilapidated already, that their obsolescence level is already getting to it, that it will be cracking. You'll be seeing different cracks on the decking, on the houses, when you want to acquire it. So this also affect property value. That, oh, if this house is not good looking, the value will definitely be lower, and the one that is new model will be higher. So well-maintained properties are likely to have higher values. So we look at the next one, improvements. A well-maintained property that is in good condition will typically have a higher value than one that is dilapidated or in need of repairs. I just explained that. So there are some improvements on a property that gives it a higher value. Let's assume the windows in some houses, there are these louvers that they used to use in the olden days. When someone to acquire property, when they see that, it becomes a turn off for them. They rather look for modern houses. So those are improvements that you see some owners of us trying to renovate their houses to look modern so they can command higher values. For instance, a home that has been recently renovated with modern amenities will typically command a higher value than one that hasn't been updated in years. That's why some owners, they keep aside repairs, fund for repairs. So every 5 years, every 10 years, depending on how they choose to maintain their property, they keep a fund aside so they don't have to start looking for more fund to keep the property updated. And the next one, we look at seller's time frame. This simply means that, let's assume you have a property and you want to liquidate it. So the time frame, is it easily liquidated? Some owners or investors, before they acquire a property, they look at this as well. Just like in terms of cars, where people look at second-hand value, in property as well, people see in a nutshell, they look for second-hand value. That if they want to liquidate such property faster, how is it possible? If you have a property, let's use Lagos as an example, somewhere in Iju-Shaga, and you have one in GRA, if you're about to sell, definitely the one in GRA will go faster. You get a buyer faster. So that's what seller's time frame means. In a strong seller's market, property values tends to rise, while in a buyer's market, values may decline. So that's why what I just explained. In addition to affecting prices, market timing can also greatly impact the amount of time it takes for a property to sell. So I just give a scenario of a property in Iju-Shaga and a property in Ikeja GRA. In a seller's market where there is high demand for properties, homes tend to sell faster since there are multiple interest parties competing for the same property. So you easily get buyer that you even intend to increase your value so that the highest bidder will be able to buy the property. And the next one here is neighborhood. We also look at neighborhood before we acquire a property, and this is another factor that determines property value. So the quality and reputation of the neighborhood can impact property values. Safe and well-maintained neighborhoods with low crime rates often have higher property values. So we all know this generally, that a place, they call some areas in terms of real estate red district area, and they categorize Mushin, Oshodi, such places as red district areas. So people that stay there, they know how the crime rate increases by the day. So before you acquire a property or rent, you will look at all of this. Now, oh, how's the crime rate here? How's this neighborhood like? Is there 24 hours electricity? You ask questions. So you don't just invest your money in where you don't want to invest, or just rent a property where your mind will not be at peace. So properties in areas prone to natural disaster like flood, wind fires, or earthquake may struggle with lower property values. This happen, we know we hardly have, but flood is one of the things that we look at. nowadays we've been experiencing flood in Lagos, and most people, this is the time they tend to go to look for the houses they want to either buy or rent. Because we were going to Lekki to inspect a property last week. We couldn't have access to go because the area was flooded. Even the car we were carrying almost got flooded. So we had to make a U-turn. That is the reason that if you must acquire property or either buy or rent, especially in Lagos State, you have to go. It is advised to go during rainy season, so you know if it's a prone area to flood. And we hardly see earthquake or all other natural disaster here in Nigeria. But in the north, they have this sand wind or something. So we should look at all of this. This also affects property values. And the bonus here, it says, understanding the factors that affect property value is crucial for anyone involved in real estate. Generally, we are involved in real estate here at adbondharve, because whether you are in media department, you are in IT department, you are in customer care, you all sell our product. So that is the essence of our real estate insight, so that you have more insight about the real estate business. So while each property is unique and may be affected by different factors, such as location, market demand, property condition, amenities, size and layouts, and age of the property are some of the most crucial factors that can significantly impact a property's value. By considering these factors when evaluating a property, investors, homeowners, and real estate professionals can make informed decisions that maximize their returns and achieve their investment goals. So in a nutshell, you must look at all of these factors one after the other, so that it will be easy for you to either invest, buy a home, or live in a neighborhood. And our conclusion says, analyzing risk factors in property venture is a critical step in successful real estate investment. We all want to have a property one day, so there are factors you must look at, and this factor also determine the property value. You hear why they're selling a property in Banana Island for billions, because they've added a lot of values to it. So some places they may say it's overhyped, but that's not the case. It's because of the values they've added. So value definitely increase the price of a property. By carefully evaluating location, market condition, improvements, and neighborhood with its diversification strategies, investors can make informed decisions that maximize potential returns while minimizing potential risks. So by doing this, you reduce the risks of your investment going through the waste. Remember, knowledge is power, and a thorough risk analysis is key to unlocking the wealth potential in property ventures. Thank you for listening to me. If you have any comments, suggestion, opinion, kindly drop in our comment section and we'll get back to you. Thank you very much.